Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to the Popternative podcast, the podcast and talk show where we have digital discussions for the worlds of TV, film, pop culture, social media, lifestyle, music, everything really, depending on the guest. We talk about it all. As always, I'm your host, Peter Remoliotis. On social media, you know me as PD Beats. You will recognize my guest from season 2 of Love Island on CBS. We're with Lakeyn Call. Lakeyn, welcome to Popternative.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
I'm excited too. I mean, whether it's like a TV show or whether it's, just kind of everyday life and working, there's always going to be kind of learning experiences. For you on Love Island, what were some learning experiences that you could take in the real world now after being on a show like Love Island, Lakeyn?
So I've said this to a couple people. Going into the show, I came in super late. If you've watched, I was one of the last girls to come in. So everyone was really already like in their couples, already friends. So I really had to put myself in there. And like, I've never been the new girl. I always went to the same school. In college, I went with my best friend. So I've always had people I've been around that I've known. So I came in as the new girl knowing no one, like by myself. So like, I think that was such a learning experience. It was kind of hard. Like I've never had to do something like that before. Mm-hmm. So learning from that, it's just like, I honestly think I could go grab a backpack and travel around the world by myself now, just because I learned to like how to put yourself out there without knowing anyone.
Oh, absolutely. That's interesting. It reminds me of when I interview some people that are on some shows like on Netflix and Amazon, HBO. They say that they come on for like season 2 of a show. Everyone from season 1 already kind of knows each other, and they're coming as like a newbie, and it is like a difficult thing.
It's hard. I never thought it was going to be that hard. I was like, I'm so outgoing. I can do this. And then I was literally so shy. I've never been shy in my life. Like, I'm the one who's, like, dancing on the table, like, yelling around. And I was just like, hey, guys. But then I obviously came out of my shell. So I definitely think I took that experience just to be able to not be scared when you're around new people or anything. Just, like, be yourself totally.
Absolutely. So I've interviewed some of your fellow castmates and co-stars with, Cher and Connor McKenzie, and I've interviewed people from other kind of reality shows as well. I always answer this question, and there's always a 50-50 answer to this question. There's never just a consensus. Before Love Island, did you know a lot about reality TV?
So, of course, I watched reality TV, like Real Housewives, love Vanderpump Rules. Everyone watches the Kardashians. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I knew about reality TV, but I definitely did not know what it was, like, going to be on it. I had, like, a thought in my mind, and then, like, I got there, and I was like, oh, it's a little different.
There's some people that, like, the answer to that question, because I've interviewed people from Vanderpump and the Real Housewives. Some of them are just like, no. Like, I didn't know much about reality TV.
Yeah. Well, I knew, like, the concept. Like, I understand it, but, like, I never knew what it was like to actually be on it. Which I think is amazing. I got to see like how it is, like what everyone goes through.
There's a lot of kind of shows that have to do with people going on a show and trying to find love, like Love Island. But there's also the Bachelor, the Bachelorette, and there's Too Hot to Handle on Netflix. For you specifically at Love Island, what do you think? Because it was very popular. Like social media just explodes. What do you think his stride with the audience? Like, what do you think people liked about the concept of Love Island?
Well, as a person who watched Love Island before, I was a big fan of the UK. I watched season 1 of US. I just think it is such a real show, and it's real people. Just like, it doesn't seem like some reality TV shows. I think people think like, oh, this might not be that real, but it really comes off as so like realistic and genuine. So I think that's why people love it.
Absolutely. For you specifically, you mentioned, being the newbie and everything. What were some kind of highlights of your experience on Love Island? What were some things that you were kind of like proud of that you accomplished on the show? Any cool kind of moments that you will stay with you? Like, what were kind of highlights, Lakeyn?
Well, definitely coming in, I came in and did pretty much like a strip dance. So that was pretty cool because that was really scary. But I think that was like one of the best episodes like in every season of the show. I love to watch that one. So I think that was really cool. I just really think meeting all the different people, like I created such great friendships with some of the people on the show in such a short amount of time. Yeah. So definitely like the experience of just meeting all these people and you're hanging out together 24/7. Like that was amazing. And meeting Bennett was awesome. Obviously, I don't know if you saw, Ben and I left together. So that was really cool. He's such a great guy. I would have never wanted to leave with anyone else.
So what's that like? What's that like? Like you're off the show now, right? You're back to real life. What's that like? Any updates about that?
Everyone's been asking. They're like, "Are you guys still together?"
Well, I feel like I try not to ask those questions, but I feel like you just kind of set me up for that. I'm sorry.
Totally, I'll answer it. So he lives in LA. I just signed a lease in Miami, so I'm gonna be living here for a while. We talk every day. We FaceTime every day. Like, it's just, so we're definitely keeping in touch. I'm not going to give the details of it.
You trapped me. I usually don't ask these questions.
No, it's okay. It's okay. But no, he's such a great guy. I love him. He's amazing. But yeah, we talk every day. We FaceTime every day. We talk about what's going on in our lives. But we're just trying to wait to see when it's a good time for me to come visit him in LA or for him to come here. So it's just about like when that happens. But yeah,
I feel like that's like the first question. Like, at least that wasn't the first question I asked you, but I feel like any reality show where it has to do with like finding love and everything, that's like the first question that everyone's gonna ask.
Are you guys still together? Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, but yeah, we definitely we're gonna see where it goes. We still talk, and hopefully moving forward we'll see what happens, and everyone will find out.
You had some moments on the show where there were moments on the show with you as well. There's clips on YouTube, right, of like you being kind of, there's a lot of emotions in this show, right? There's a lot of people getting upset at each other and calling each other out.
I think I did a great job of calling someone out.
Oh yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you should be an actor because you're a great actor. That's quote unquote what I said. Yeah, so I definitely got a lot of love for doing that. People thought it was funny. But in the end, I think Harrington's a great guy. I have nothing bad to say about him. I think a lot of people think that we don't like each other because of what happened, but I think he's hilarious. He's awesome. I have nothing bad to say about him. Him and Laurel seem to be doing great and going strong, so I'm happy for them. But yeah, that was really funny. I was mad, so I wasn't mad. I was, as I quote, I was like, "You're just annoying," because he just pissed me off. So I was like, I'm just gonna call you out because no one ever calls you out.
I feel like it's one of those things too, where if you search your, like, I think this is a great interview so far. So hopefully when people search your name, they'll find our interview and watch it. But
I hope so too.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you put like your name on YouTube, like that's one of the first things that comes up.
You don't know how many people, like, of my friends or like people who watch the show who are friends with my friends and we're out hanging out. They're like, "Hey, Lakeyn, you should be an actor because you're a great actor." And I'm like, I know. And like we've done it like a Cheers and they'll like say it. I mean, it's just a funny line. Like, I don't even know how I came up with it in my head, but like, I was just being honest, and that's what I hope that people saw on the show. I got a lot of feedback saying, like, we wish we saw more of you. You were so real. And I was like, that was the best compliment because I went on that show and I was 100% who I was. Like, I did not fake anything. I didn't act a different way. So.
No, absolutely. You kind of, it's a good segue for my next question. I mean, in terms of like what's next for Lakeyn Call, I mean, it's one of those things like you do this show, right? You know, you have, I'm sure there's going to be, you know, a lot of opportunities down the road. You know what I mean? You know, people want to interview you, do a lot of things. Yeah, absolutely. What do you think is next, or what do you want to accomplish? Do you want to do another show? Do you maybe want to go into acting? Like, what are you kind of into, like post kind of Love Island? Like, what's the next step?
You know, right now, I'm just having fun catching up with my friends. Like, Miami's beautiful, the weather is great, so I'm tanning, I'm on the boat. But I'm definitely looking forward to like. Hopefully, and I'm really into music festivals, so once those open up, that'll be great because I would love to like do something within the music scene and music festivals.
Oh, absolutely.
Do Instagram or whatever, but maybe even start like a vlog and vlog at music. Ideally, I would love to vlog at music festivals for them, but or something like in that realm. But definitely just like hopefully some like group like brand deals with people, like do things like that. I was in school. I'm taking a break right after the show, but. Just kind of see where it takes me. I've been getting some like opportunities to do interviews and stuff, so just go with the flow.
And I feel like it's funny because there's like, especially with Love Island, there's like three kind of points of the show, like timeline wise, where it gets pretty crazy. There's like the calm before the storm, before like it like premieres. So there's like the day or two, and like there's like the buzz, and then there's like the right after it's done, right? Like, okay, what's next? And now I think there's kind of like the people kind of want to know like 3-4 months later, like they're going to wait a little longer now to be like, okay, where is everyone right now? Are the couples still
where
together?
Are they now?
Have you noticed that though? There's like three kind of stages, right? There's like before the show airs, right after it airs, and now it's like calm before the storm. I feel like for the third stage of like people want to know what's next, right?
So yeah, I would love to know exactly what I'm going to do next. I'm just kind of going with the flow and seeing what opportunities are presented to me.
Yep.
I'm open to so many different ones. Acting, I'm unsure about right now. Maybe something within that. I don't really know, but I'm just going to let it play out and see where life takes me.
So when I started this show, one of the things I wanted to do was I wanted to have conversations that would be kind of difficult to find anywhere else. So what I mean by that is kind of conversations about kind of like behind the scenes, because people find it very interesting. People find it very interesting that you like Lakeyn Call was on Love Island. They want to know about the experience. They want to know what you went through. Can you talk a little bit about some stuff in terms of your experience on the show that might be a misconception? Like people think, oh, it was like this. Maybe it took this long to shoot, but actually you're like, oh, no, it actually didn't take that long. Or are there cool little kind of tidbits? Like, for example, when I interview people from The Bachelorette, they say there's like a lot of food around the house, but they're not allowed to eat it.
Okay. No, we're allowed to eat all the food. Everyone's always snacking. I will say that, okay, so when in my personal experience, I got there because we obviously had a quarantine for 2 weeks. So I got there on July 24th, not knowing when I was going to go in. So I got there on July 24th. I didn't walk into that villa until September 21st. So I was in a hotel for that long, like just waiting for a call. And I was like, oh, this sucks. When am I going to go in? And then I ended up being like one of the last people. But so that's like a little thing I guess people don't know, like how long you do have to wait if you're one of the last people. And then what else would people like to know? There's a lot of downtime. Like you're really just chilling. Like, I mean, we get to do the challenges and everything and like all the fun stuff. You're chatting, you're eating, like everyone's doing whatever, you're tanning, you're in the pool, but there is a lot of downtime. Like you're really just chilling on the rooftop, which is nice. I mean, I didn't mind it, but I don't know how much I'm allowed to say. So.
I find it very interesting too. I'm sure there's like that downtime thing is interesting because there's a lot of cast members on the show, right? And they're all kind of like around. And I feel like there might be were there people that didn't have a lot of like interaction and screen time on the show that are actually like pretty close in real life? Like that, I find that an interesting dynamic as well, right?
Yeah. Honestly, I watched all of the show before I went on because I was sitting in the hotel waiting and I needed to see who I was going to go in for. But I haven't watched all my episodes, which is funny. It's literally been like a month and I've only seen like 2 or 3. But no, I think they do. I think the one thing I will say is they do not portray some people. Like Calvin is the funniest human being I've ever met in my entire life. He's the funniest, like most smooth, like dances the best. And like I feel like when I watched him before, I never thought that. But then meeting him, I was like, this is the coolest person in this villa. I love him so much because he's just amazing.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I definitely think that like sometimes like you don't get to see people's whole like personality just because they don't have time for it. It's only an hour episode.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and then it becomes, and that's why I find it weird too, because there's all these like short movies and short TV shows out there right now that are like 8 minutes, 10 minutes long, and it's like you got to fit in so much in a small amount of time, right?
We're filming 24 hours a day, and you guys get to see what 1 or 2 hours, like so you don't get to see everyone. That's why I was like, I hope that I'm portrayed how I am, which I really think that people got to see how.
Oh, for sure. No, that's awesome. Well,
I'm like, I'm a real ass bitch, low key or high key.
Yeah, no, I think that's something too. Like I interviewed a few people for MTV's The Challenge, and they were saying they were like they were talking about how they were like, oh my god, like I'm not like that. Like I'm upset that they think I'm like the worst person.
Yeah, I think that happens to some people for sure. Why does everyone keep FaceTiming me? I think that happens for sure. Like reality TV can like screw it or whatever how someone looks, but I don't think Love Island does it. Like meeting all those people when I was in that villa are exactly how they look on TV. Like they don't change how people are at all.
That's great to know. No, that's great to know.
Going in, I never knew if they were gonna do that or not. To me, they didn't. Awesome.
Another quick question for a wrap up too, because I want your kind of opinion on it being on one of these shows. There's a lot of different reality TV shows out there, and they're all on different kind of networks. You know, there's like Too Hot to Handle, The Circle on Netflix. There's, you know, ABC, The Bachelorette. There's Love Island, CBS. They're all different networks, but it's kind of like, I feel like they kind of like tag team and kind of help each other in terms of they've been out of the same kind of round and everyone's going to kind of watch them all. You know what I mean? Like that, the reality TV fans are kind of like that. They kind of binge and kind of tackle it all on.
Oh, they love it.
Have you thought about that at all? Being kind of like the fact that like there's like, for example, Love Island season 2 and then there was like Too Hot to Handle, and there's The Circle and The Bachelorette. Like, have you ever thought about that kind of working relationship a little bit?
Within other people from those shows?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the timing of it, right? Like they're all on, and like people are gonna be like people who watch Too Hot to Handle watch Love Island, right?
I agree. I think it's like the same type of group of people who watch the same shows, which I think is great. And I also think during COVID right now, people are really bored, so it's good to watch these shows. Like it's like the perfect time to be watching TV. So
yeah, absolutely.
That it found that time
for sure. Well, Lakeyn, thank you so much for coming on Popternative.
I'm sorry it took forever, but I'm so happy to be on the show and cannot wait to watch it after.
Yeah, absolutely. So, where can people follow you on social media to keep up to date with everything?
Yes, so you guys can follow me at Lake the Snake. I'm not a snake; it just rhymes. I don't use Twitter, but definitely on Instagram. So follow me. I always reply to people's DMs, everything. So
amazing, awesome. Well, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I post a lot of fun stuff, so if you watch, you'll see.
Absolutely. Have you found that kind of a bit overwhelming too, though? Like the kind of like, I mean, you do your best to like talk to everyone and everything, but at one point it's like a flurry, right, of like a lot of stuff.
When I first got off, I came back to so many DMs and stuff, and I was like, oh my god, I have to reply to all these people. I feel bad if I don't reply to them. Yep. But I got a lot of messages that were like, where did you get this outfit? And I was like, oh, yes, I'll tell you where I got it. But so I thought that was cool. I think it's really cool, like, obviously interacting with everyone. And it's great when, like, there's obviously some hate messages, but I just, like, delete those.
Absolutely. No, for sure. But, no, thank you so much. And I wish you all the best with everything kind of post Love Island as well.
Thank you so much. It was great to talk to you. You're amazing.
Yeah, thank you. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Until next time, this is Lakeyn Call and Petey Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.